What's up, guys? Wanted to make a video on the mega farm, but for saltwater. I've also improved it quite a bit, made it a little bit nicer, and I've spent a lot of time trying to understand electricity better. So without any further ado, I hope you guys enjoy. Start off with the 3x2 just like before, an airlock. But for this time we're gonna have a double door leading into the farm. The garage door on it as soon as you can. Once you got everything you need, build the mega farm, open up the back door, time to lay down the foundations. Gonna be 2 out from either side of your 3x2. 7 tiles wide. 2 layers. I'm gonna go 6 tiles deep. It won't let you place foundations high. Place them low. Fill it in with half walls and floors. Put 1 foundation in the middle of our pool. Do windows or walls along the outside, it's preference. About to put the roof on. I have a ladder hatch right outside of the garage door. Personally, I like to put composters in this little cutout here. But it's preference, you could use it for storage, anything you'd like. Got 2 foundations all the way around for 2 garden plots for each square. And a little U-shaped pool in the middle for our water pumps. Move up to the second. Wall off this room because this is where we're gonna have the electricity. And we'll have windows around the rest, or walls if you prefer. Here, we're gonna have another 3x3. Important to have the double doors anywhere that lead into the garden plots because they stick up pretty high and it's a pain to get through them with like a regular door. Hit your head. The garage doors will make it much easier anytime the door leads directly into a garden plot. The hatch leads directly into a 3x3. will be our power room, mixing room. You'd have a little extra space for some storage, if anything you'd like, maybe a camera station. There'll be a double door, leads into another 3x3. It'll be full of garden plots. I personally would use this to clone, while I use the outside plants to grow, harvest. So I would do cloning phases while harvesting. Once you get the layout for the second floor done, put the roof on, secure it, fill in the windows, and head up to the roof. One more hatch leading up to the roof. Lock it. Second floor is all secured. You can move up to the roof. Here we're gonna build a small 3x2. This will be where we put our water purifiers. I'll put our water purifiers in here. That way we can gravity feed them down. Have to use up any unnecessary power. Use the pumps that are down in our little pool on the first floor. Pump them straight up to our purifiers up here on the roof. Gravity feed them down to the sprinkler system. The roof, I'm gonna build wall frames. Start off on the corners. We'll put our wind turbines on top of them. Gonna have 3 large batteries, so it's gonna be 2 wind turbines for each large battery. So you put ladders up the frames so you have access to the turbines, so you can wire them up. Pull these down if you don't want to keep them up there with the hammer. I have 6 wind turbines, 1 on each of these towers. When you place the turbine, make sure open side is facing you. So your wind turbines are up. East to west. Have to place solar panels where it looks like they'll get the best sun. In this room here, we'll put down 4 water purifiers. And from up here, gravity feed them down so that we won't have to use a pump. Put our windmills up, solar panels down. Head down to the second floor, work on the power room. Now we're going to be using 3 large batteries. Make sure we give ourselves room, walls for the circuits. So because we have multiple sources of power, there's only one plug to plug them in. We've got to set up a circuit with root combiners. That way we can use multiple wind turbines and multiple solar panels working together to charge up the batteries. I'm going to place 5 root combiners, just like this. next to each one of the large batteries. And we're going to take our wire tool. I'm going to click on combine power out on any one of these. I'm going to connect this to a root power on any one of these. We'll do it to the one right next to it. So now these are wired together. So if we were to go combined power out, and we were to plug this into power in on the battery, we could use these 3 slots, plug in. Say if we wanted to do 2 wind turbines and a solar panel, because we're going to do extra, you never know, you might end up adding more solar panels. I find it easier to just have a couple of extra. I'm going to wire all these together, create a circuit that they're all connected. You'll have this final combined power that's not being used. I'm going to plug this one into the power in on the large battery. I'm going to repeat this on all 3. Now that the circuit is all set up, you can start plugging in the turbines and the solar panels into these. That way they start to charge. The quicker we can get them charging, the quicker they'll get to full capacity. Start off, we'll go on our tallest one. Once we get to the root combiner circuit, plug the wind turbine into any one of the empty root powers circuit. Any one will work. See it light up. See that the circuit's working. The capacity is starting to go up, so it's charging. We'll plug 2 wind turbines to each one of these, and we'll do the same thing with the solar panels. Now, as an example, see here, we're almost out of reach. We could technically plug this in, no problem. But if it's giving you issues, take a root combiner. That wind turbine is probably on this side of the roof, so put a root combiner here. Wire this circuit. Plug it into one of these root powers. See? It's working. Need to use this to extend the length. It'll work just fine. We've got 2 wind turbines, each of our batteries. Let's start plugging in the solar panels the same way. Plug it into any one of the root combiners that are empty. So we can start getting solar power, as well as wind. Not a windy day, still sunny, still be getting charged. We'll go quickly put down our water pumps before we work on the power output. Place down 12 water pumps, our little pool here. Work on wiring them up. Getting ready to pump them up the purifiers. We're gonna put one splitter for every 3 water pumps. We've got 12 laid down. Put 4 splitters wall here. Once we've done that, go back up to the power room really quickly. Now we got to work on the power output circuit. We're gonna put 4 splitters for every large battery. We've got our 4 splitters for each large battery set up. We'll plug in to the power output with our wire tool. This will be the main line of electricity. I'm gonna plug this power in the top splitter. Now what we're doing is we're sending a maximum of 100 energy into this splitter. When you look, it says max output 100. The maximum power that this large battery can put out is 100. So it's sending that 100 straight into this splitter. Now when we connect these together, we're asking this splitter to split that 100 power to 3. Now you can see the 100 was divided by 3, and each one of these splitters are receiving 33 power. Now the reason that's important, because when we come downstairs, we plug these 3 pumps into this splitter. Each one of these pumps is 5 power. So we're now sending 15 power into this splitter. So when we connect this to the setup we have, I'm gonna plug it into one of these. We just sent 15 power into this splitter. This will be 15 more power, 5 each. Right, got 3 pumps here, 5 per pump. There's 15 power on this one that we just sent up. I'm gonna send up another 15 here. Circuit we were using. Now we're gonna send it into the same splitter that we just used. Now it's sending just enough power all 6 of those pumps. So we sent 33 out of the 100 into this splitter. We're using 30 out of 33 that we originally received. We're just about getting the maximum that we could possibly get out of that 33. What we don't want to do is power anything into this third source, because then it'll split that 33 into 3. And the most you'll get out of each of these is 11. You won't be sending out enough power to power all of your pumps. So because we're using 30 out of the 33 we're sending, we want to make sure we don't plug anything into this slot. So we go down, we wire up 3 more pumps. We want to make sure we send it to the middle splitter, not this one. Now the same thing, we just sent 15 power. We've got 15 more to work with. We'll hook up 3 more pumps. Be 15 more power. Come up to this splitter here. We'll do the same thing with this splitter. Now we've got 2 lines here. We're using 30 out of the 33 it's receiving, so we don't want to plug anything in here. Now that we've got all 12 pumps plugged in, we can go up to the purifiers. Do the same thing, we'll put a splitter down here. These purifiers, just like the pumps, use 5 power each. So again, we're spending 15 power. Down to the main line. Here we'll have another 15 to work with. What we can do is just plug this last one straight into here. Now, the pumps downstairs are pumping salt water. These are all powered up. What we've got to do is we've got to work on our plumbing to send the salt water up to the purifiers. So for this, I'm gonna need 4 fluid combiners. Basically the same exact setup as we did with the splitters, just with the fluid combiner. Gonna need 1 combiner for every 3 pumps. Take your hose tool. Hook up 3 of these pumps into the fluid combiner. It'll tell you connection requires a pump, but we're connecting it directly from a pump, so we're all set. I'm gonna pump these 3 pumps all the way up into a purifier. You open it, see it's receiving water. Black barrel is salt water. Blue barrel is your fresh water. So essentially right now it's receiving 3 pumps earth at the same time. I'm gonna go and do that same thing for the other purifiers. So all 4 water purifiers now working. Starting to fill up. What we'll do from here, start to work on our garden plots, sprinklers, and lights. Garden plots, we'll place them all around the outside on the 2nd floor. And I'm gonna fill this room as well, little 3x3 in the middle. Again, this is what I would use for cloning. I would grow the plants I want to harvest outside. That way I'm constantly keeping up with my clones. But it's all preference. If you want to use this for something totally different, like an office or whatever, that's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna fill in first floor with planters. Personally, I like to put the composters in here, but if you need more storage, you could always do like a half wall. Place it in there like that. Put your storage boxes in there. Then a double door and a garage door on it, so you have extra storage if you need it, if you're like running out of space. Now, before we do the lights, we want to do the sprinkler system because it takes a while to water the soil. We want to start watering it as quick as we can. Start placing the sprinklers. Want to put one sprinkler in the middle of 4 garden plots. Walk the middle of 4. Place the sprinkler right in the middle. Try and cover another 4. Wherever it doubles up, like in this corner, that one's gonna cover those 4. These 2 won't get water. Put another sprinkler here to make sure all of our planters are getting water. We do the same thing in our cloning room. Where that 4 squares are always getting water. Go on the first floor and do the same. Now that the sprinklers are all hooked up, we've got one covering 4 squares. Both floors. Go up to the purifiers. I'm gonna go to the water out in the blue tank. The fresh water is. By now it should be full. Because we're gravity feeding this, meaning the water's going down, not going up, because water won't flow up naturally. Need to be pumped. We're going down. We're not going to need a pump. We can go directly into the sprinkler. Keep an eye on how much water is left. When it says 4, and when it says there's 2 left, it won't supply another sprinkler. 2 left, essentially out of water. Not enough to supply more. So each one of these purifiers will supply 6 sprinklers. Now, all of your planters on both floors are being watered. Starting from salt water. That's right inside of your base. It's pretty cool. Now that the planters are starting to fill up, they've got a long ways to go. It does take a while. We can start working on the lights. You're gonna want to put one ceiling light right in the middle of every planter. Centered as possible. Now keep in mind we're working with 32 power for every one of these. We can run them all in one line. Up to 32 for each of those splitters. To be able to string a whole bunch of lights together, but then we can't use any of the other outlets for the splitter if we choose to use the full 30 on a string of lights. So in other words, because we're gonna hook up let's say 16 lights to be 32 power, maybe 15 to make it 30, depending on what we get out of it. We're gonna have 30 power out of the 30 power that this receives. We aren't gonna be plugging anything into these two if we're gonna dedicate the whole 30 power from this splitter to our lights. Once we've got 2 left, same as the water. Once it's at 2, not enough power, then to more. So we'll start a new line. Because we're using the full 30 from here, start it from this splitter. Have another 30 power to work with. Start off in the clone room. Now that I've actually placed ceiling lights in the clone room, start with the clone room. Got 32 power for a whole new string of lights. Both floors getting fresh water, fully lit. What we want to do, wait for the soil while our planters get fully wet, at least close to full. Stop planting our seeds. We plan on growing berries. Might be making teas that you can sell for a crazy amount of scrap. Or you can also sell perfect clones for a pretty crazy amount of scrap. So we'll do, put a couple shop fronts and vending machines in front of our base. Now that you've got your vending machines, Hold D, administrate, you can buy or sell anything you'd like. And one thing I like to do in the vending machine room, I think the cameras are really cool in Rust. So I'll put a computer station like upstairs, kind of put some of these cameras looking out the window. That way you get like an idea of what's going on out there. You know, someone's coming to buy something or they're about to get raided. At least you can see it coming. The cameras are really cool, and you can place a couple up high, get a better view around your base. Place a computer station, they don't take up much space. And while you're growing your plants, every once in a while, you can hop on the computer station, see what's going on. Now, because there's so many planter boxes in this base, it's going to be really, really difficult to keep up with compost. However, you do decide to, for the 100% ground, thing you can do, take the fish traps, place them all around outside of your base, wherever it'll let you. And then you can buy pickles at Bandit Camp for really cheap. Place them in the traps, catch fish, and put the fish in the composter to get a pretty good amount of compost from the fish. Now the only thing left to do, harvest, clone, make our teas, make a bunch of scrap selling. The concept for this base is still pretty new. The first one I built was like only a couple months ago, trying to take advantage of the space and the resources best as I can. If you guys have any ideas though, please let me know. It'd be really cool to hear some feedback. And if you found the video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It would mean the world to me. It'll help grow the channel. We're still new. But other than that, I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.